Is front lever one of your goals? Well, you've come to the right place. If you want to know a structured program on how to work towards this skill, let me take you through it from warm-up all the way to cool down. For the warm-up, I'm going to show you 4 different movements. I'm going to start from the least intense to the most intense, and it's going to be mainly about lat activation. First one is an active hang. We try to hollow out the body, which means crunch the abs, squeeze the butt to keep the hips open, and pull your shoulders down. So you see how I gain a lot of height through the shoulders when I do that? That is the lats working. And you're going to hold this active hang for 60 seconds. Another one you can do, very similar, is scap pull. I'm gonna go for 10 reps this time. Pull the shoulders down and relax. Some might like this movement better than the hold to really get that feeling of how to engage the lats and get the shoulders into that depressed scapular position. Third one is called an arch up. So this is getting much more specific to our front lever. A lot of people, if they haven't done this before, feel quite glued. As long as you feel you're starting to get that lift of the chest, be consistent and you will start to unglue. Shoulder depression. Then we try to lift up the chest. Go for 5. We don't want any ab tension. We just want our legs, our hips hanging. The last one, this is one that I got from Yannick, and I quite like this one. It's a very heavy contraction of the lat, and it's great prep for front lever, I find. This is now a staple for any of my front lever workouts. Pretty heavy band over a high bar. Bit of an angle here. I'm going to depress the shoulder again. I'm going to crunch the abs, and I'm trying to pull the band with a straight arm down towards my upper thigh. The idea is that you create such resistance that you can't win that fight. So we're gonna go 3 reps, 5 seconds of effort for each one. So down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There your warm-up's done. Go with what helps you activate your lats the best. We're gonna move to the actual skill of front lever. This is when we are freshest and primed, so we should put that effort into what the skill demands. It demands a bit of strength, a bit of skill, and a lot of central nervous system. So we do that when we're fresh. I would recommend to do holds for your skill work of front lever, looking to set up a position that you can hold 5 to 10 seconds. So I'm going to be doing the 1 leg variation. I'm going to hold for 5 seconds. I'm going to have about 60 to 90 seconds rest, and then I'm going to repeat. Extend my arms back and lock out. Maintain the shoulder position I already set, and make sure that my hips are aligned with my shoulders. 60 to 90 seconds rest. You can even go 120 seconds rest if you need it, and then do the next set. That is the skill. If you are having trouble with a planked front lever, I've already made a video of how to sort that out. Check it out. Film all your sets so that you can associate that feeling of where you were with where you actually are visually, and you'll start to connect the dots. Once we've trained our skill, you can move on to strength, but we can add one more supplementary skill-specific move. We can do the front lever dynamically, so moving, concentric, eccentric, but it has to be an easier variation. So your front lever raise is from a hang, a tight tuck, a pull up to invert, control back down all the way to tuck before you let go of the legs, tuck, and then start your next rep. 2 to 3 reps, 2 to 3 sets, only 60 seconds rest in between, so you can see why an easier variation is necessary. We then move on to strength, which is equally as important. Strength underpins all the skill work, so you want to put a lot of effort into this, and developing this is not just a passing thought. Most likely you're going to find this, and it is the most appropriate, is pull-ups. If that is just body weight for you at the moment, that's fine, but look towards adding weight. Keep your reps between 3 to 6 repetitions, and look to increase the weight that is on you rather than increasing the repetitions. For these pull-ups, because we front lever with an overhand grip, pull-ups also implies pronated overhand grip. Strength is funny because it is what gives you the skills, apart from any technical refinement, but it's the, I guess, least interesting thing for people new to it because it's not as fun. But trust me, if you invest in developing your strength in these pull-ups, the front lever will just become so much easier for you to do. Invest in the strength. After you've done that strength though, we move to accessories. Most people are going to want to work their core as their accessory so that they are training the position they're looking to get to for front lever. And we're going to start with a dragon flag. So the dragon flag is one that you can do your front lever progressions through all the way up to full front lever. I would look at keeping them as low repetition again, working within that 3 to 6 repetition range. Opt for a one leg bent, one leg straight variation and look to bring that leg, the bent leg, further and further out until you get to your full front lever, looking to get 3 sets in of 3 to 6 repetitions. The other one that I like for core, I don't do as much, but I have done before, Chinese bridge. So this is where you would support your feet and you would support your shoulders and you would have a weight on your hips and you are squeezing your butt and pushing your hips up into that weight and holding for a longer amount of time. So if you imagine holding a front lever for 5 to 10 seconds, if you're holding these Chinese bridges for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds, you're getting such an extended period of time practicing that position, or at least that glute intention to open the hip, that when you come back to your front lever training, it should ideally feel much more familiar. Before I reveal our last accessories, have you subscribed? Please subscribe. These ones are triceps. When we go for that lockout in front lever, if you feel like you haven't really done much tricep work in the past, it can be good to add these in at the end of a session to encourage that lockout of the elbow. From here, bend the elbows, lower the weight down, and extend back up. We make this more difficult by opening the shoulders further, going through more range of motion, and locking out. It's going to be much easier if I'm here, so you just need to make sure you police that position of the arms. It's just a bend through the elbow. For your accessories, you would go higher repetition, anywhere from 12, well, let's say 10 to 15 repetitions is good, and you can push a little bit more to failure, to fatigue at this point in the workout. The last thing you could do as an accessory is you can just do push, which is going to complement all the pull work that you just did. So if you already have a push day, it's not as necessary to do that, but if you are just doing front lever or it's one of your only calisthenics skills, including some push is going to help balance out your program and your overall development. Jump on some of my training programs, guys. You'll really like them if you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you for the next one.